The Merged Sentry versus Time Trapper Doomsday, who would win? When two beings who represent the ultimate extremes of power collide, this battle is not just about strength. It is a clash between creation and destruction, evolution and control, raw power and cosmic manipulation. On one side stands the Merged Sentry, Robert Reynolds, after accepting both his heroic light and his destructive darkness, becoming one complete being with the combined power of the Sentry and the Void. On the other side stands Time Trapper Doomsday, an evolved version of the legendary destroyer who reaches a level beyond physical combat, gaining abilities connected to time, reality, and cosmic forces. This is a battle between a being who can reshape matter itself and a creature who can challenge the very flow of existence. Robert Reynolds was never an ordinary superhero. The Sentry has always been considered one of Marvel's most powerful beings, possessing the legendary power of 1,000,000 exploding suns. But unlike many heroes, his greatest challenge was not an external enemy. His greatest battle was inside his own mind. The Sentry's power was connected to his emotions, his fears, and his ability to control himself. For years, Robert struggled with the existence of the Void, a dark counterpart that represented everything opposite to the Sentry. Where the Sentry represented hope, creation, and protection, the Void represented destruction, fear, and chaos. For a long time, Robert believed the Void was something he needed to destroy. He saw it as a threat that had to be defeated. But eventually, he discovered the truth. The Void was not simply an enemy. It was a part of him. It was the other half of his own existence. When Robert finally accepted both sides of himself, the Sentry and the Void merged into one complete being. This created the Merged Sentry, a version of Robert Reynolds who was no longer divided by fear or hesitation. Instead of fighting against his darkness, he gained control over both his light and his shadow. The Merged Sentry represents balance between creation and destruction. His power is not only based on physical strength. He can manipulate energy, control molecules, reshape matter, and affect the battlefield around him. His abilities allow him to create or destroy on a level far beyond normal superheroes. His strength and durability place him among Marvel's highest-level characters. He can survive devastating attacks, recover from extreme damage, and unleash incredible amounts of energy. Most importantly, the Merged Sentry is no longer limited by the mental struggles that weakened him before. But standing against him is a being built around one simple idea: survival. Doomsday was created as the ultimate weapon, a creature whose entire existence revolves around adaptation. Every defeat makes him stronger. Every attack that destroys him becomes something he can overcome in the future. He is not just a monster. He is a living evolution system. However, Time Trapper Doomsday represents a completely different level of evolution. This version of Doomsday is connected to the mysterious cosmic concept of the Time Trapper, a force associated with time manipulation, alternate realities, and changes to the timeline. Unlike the original Doomsday, who relies mostly on physical power and adaptation, Time Trapper Doomsday operates on a much larger scale. His abilities allow him to influence the battlefield itself. Instead of simply overpowering an opponent, he can manipulate the conditions of the fight. He does not only survive attacks, he can potentially change the circumstances that allow those attacks to happen. Now imagine these two forces finally meeting. The battlefield becomes a place where reality itself begins to break apart. The Merged Sentry arrives surrounded by overwhelming energy, carrying both the power of creation and destruction. Across from him stands Time Trapper Doomsday, an evolved being that has moved beyond the limits of ordinary life. The first attack comes from Sentry. Robert releases a massive wave of energy powerful enough to destroy everything in its path. Against most opponents, this would be an instant victory. But Time Trapper Doomsday does not fight like a normal enemy. Instead of blocking the attack with strength alone, he manipulates the flow of time around himself. The attack slows, changes direction, and loses its original impact as Doomsday alters the battlefield. The Merged Sentry realizes that raw power will not be enough. He changes his approach and uses his molecular manipulation abilities, attempting to break Doomsday apart at the smallest level. But this is where Doomsday's greatest advantage appears. His entire existence is based on adaptation. A normal being would be destroyed by such an attack, but Doomsday has always been defined by his ability to overcome impossible situations. Combined with time-based abilities, he becomes even harder to permanently defeat. Doomsday begins his counterattack. Instead of relying only on physical strength, he attacks through the structure of time itself. He creates distortions around Sentry, forcing Robert to fight through different possibilities and changing circumstances. The Merged Sentry responds by unleashing his full power. The destructive energy of the Void combines with the creative force of the Sentry. He creates powerful energy attacks, reshapes matter around him, and attempts to overwhelm Doomsday before his opponent can gain complete control. For a moment, the advantage appears to belong to Sentry. His raw power is enormous. His ability to manipulate reality and matter gives him answers against almost any physical threat. The Merged Sentry is not holding back. He is using the full potential of Robert Reynolds. But Time Trapper Doomsday represents a different kind of threat. The turning point comes when Doomsday stops trying to defeat Sentry through direct attacks. Instead, he begins using his greatest advantage: control over time. A powerful attack can destroy something that exists in the present. But controlling time means controlling the events that create that moment. This gives Time Trapper Doomsday a unique advantage. He does not need to overpower the Merged Sentry in a traditional fight. He can attack the battlefield, the timeline, and the possible outcomes of the battle itself. However, defeating the Merged Sentry is not simple. Because Sentry and Void are united, Robert Reynolds has access to an enormous amount of power. He can survive incredible damage, regenerate, and continue fighting even when facing attacks that would defeat most beings. This becomes a battle between two unstoppable forces. The Merged Sentry has greater direct combat power. His energy output, molecular manipulation, and destructive potential make him one of Marvel's most dangerous entities. Time Trapper Doomsday has the advantage in control. His ability to manipulate time and alter the circumstances of battle gives him a weapon that strength alone cannot easily overcome. If the battle is decided by pure physical power, the Merged Sentry has the advantage. He is stronger, more versatile, and possesses greater offensive abilities. But if both characters fight at their absolute peak with every ability available, Time Trapper Doomsday gains the upper hand because his power affects the foundation of the battle itself. He does not simply fight an opponent. He can influence the timeline where that fight takes place. The Merged Sentry is the stronger warrior, but Time Trapper Doomsday is the more powerful force in a cosmic battle. In the end, this fight is decided by the difference between overwhelming power and absolute control. The Merged Sentry represents the perfect balance of creation and destruction, but Time Trapper Doomsday represents evolution combined with control over time itself. The final result: Time Trapper Doomsday defeats the Merged Sentry because his ability to manipulate time, reality, and the conditions of battle gives him the ultimate advantage at their highest levels.